Fifth grade lunch. It was quiet until an angry kid bursts through the cafeteria. He's marching in, stiff, furious. He's grabbing people's lunches off their tables and just slamming them to the ground as he goes by. Food is all over the floor at this point. The teachers were panicking and they evacuated most people outside for like an early recess. Everybody's barely settled outside when this angry kid bursts through the door holding a giant garbage can. And the teacher is sprinting behind him, trying to catch him.
Hey, get back here.
Well, this big angry kid sees a small kid and he just hurls this garbage can at him.
Oh God.
And this garbage can was empty, and the way he threw it, miraculously, just fell perfectly over this small kid. Everyone stops what they're doing and is now staring at this garbage can that fell perfectly over this kid. The kid is now completely covered by the garbage can. And yeah, it was hilarious. The kid pushes the garbage can off him, he's chuckling, all the other students are kind of laughing and then they applause. Even the very angry kid chuckled. Come on. And that was that. These kids are hanging out. They got pizza, chips, and sodas. Then Evan shows up late and he looks around the table. Empty boxes, not one crumb left. Hey guys, hold up. Where's my food? Bro, you weren't here. We thought you weren't even coming. What? You guys knew I was coming. You did this on purpose. Nah, man, for real. We just ate our food. Wow. So no one saved me a slice, even just one slice. He's heated now. He's pacing. You know what? You all could have texted me. You knew I was going to be late. I'm always late to things. And now I can tell I don't even matter to any of you. The group looks at each other and they're kind of annoyed with Evan at this point. Then one of them says, you know what, bro? There is one slice left. It's in the trash. Screw all of you. And he stormed out the door. And after that, his friends didn't want to hang out with him again. I understand being sad there wasn't any food left, but he totally crashed out. And ain't nobody got time for that. There was a kid named Ian. He was the shortest kid in elementary school. The bullies loved making fun of him. Hey, short stack, what's the weather like down there?
Bruh.
One night he came home and he sat at the kitchen table and he talked to his dad. Dad, they won't leave me alone. His dad didn't tell him to ignore it. His dad didn't call to school. Ian, come with me. I want to show you something. They go downstairs and Ian realizes that this corner of the basement wasn't used for storage. There was a punching bag there, a full boxing setup, gloves, wraps, a speed bag, a heavy bag, like a mini gym in this corner of their basement. Whoa. Son, you're gonna train. You're not gonna train to hurt them. You train so you don't feel so helpless. So Ian starts practicing every day, day after day, and he's getting pretty good. Then, one day in the cafeteria, Ian's carrying his lunch. He walks past the bully's table and he tries to ignore them. Well, one of the bullies steps up and smacks the tray into his face. Food everywhere, milk dripping down his shirt. Everybody's laughing at him. And then Ian snaps. He puts his tray down calmly, walks straight up to that bully, pops him right in the face. Then another one. Clean, quick punches. The bully's stunned. He falls down. He's like, all right, stop. All right, stop. Ian walks away. He's taken to the office and he's suspended for a whole week. But nobody messed with him ever again. He never had to use his boxing skills ever again. But he knows he has them. And if he has to use them, he will respect. So this school was doing Spirit Week. You know, Pajama Day, Wacky Wednesday, stuff like that. Well, on Wacky Wednesday, this one kid showed up in a full suit of armor. Boots, gloves, gauntlets, the whole thing, 3 layers, night helmet. It was epic. And the school let him keep it on. Well, after second period, these 3 8th graders, who were the school bullies, decided to make fun of him. Hey, nice outfit, Tin Man. What you got under there?
Yeah, nice outfit, metal boy.
Well, he's just standing there, not saying a word. The bullies didn't like this, so they start to attack him. What's your problem, dude? Yeah, what's your problem?
Ow, my foot.
One punches his shoulder, his hand is shaking, it might be broken. Some kid kicks him in the groin, his foot is hurting. And the third one, big guy, punches his knee and literally breaks his wrist.
Ow!
You're my foot! My foot! My wrist, guys? Guys, my wrist. It's broken. It's broken. Principal shows up and calls it a school fight. The kid in the armor gets suspended for a week, even though he did not touch any of them. He literally just stood there in his knight armor that the school let him wear. And the bullies, they didn't get in trouble at all. And that, my friends, is messed up. This is absolutely crazy. So there's this one freshman in high school, and his parents are out of town for the week. Well, instead of playing Xbox every day after school, he does something absolutely insane. He builds an actual wrestling ring in his backyard. I'm talking wood frame, ropes, the whole thing. And at school, he starts telling people, every day after school, my house, wrestling matches, $2 to get in. And for the first few days after school, it's just a couple of kids messing around. But then it started getting serious. One kid begins managing fighters and training them. Another's making poster for the big fight on Friday. People are putting money down. They're making actual bets, and these fighters are training all week. Well, by Thursday and Friday, it's not just this backyard thing anymore. Half the school is showing up. There's bets being placed, referees with whistles. It's absolutely insane. Well, finally Friday is the big fight, and it is beautiful. Until this kid's dad comes home and sees what's going on. What the heck is going on here? Oh my god! And the whole thing was shut down instantly. But those who went to that school never forgot the week of backyard wrestling. That's kind of crazy. Oh, is she just on TikTok right now? I guess we can all be on our phones then. No phones in class. What? So this teacher at this one school was just done. She was tenured, bitter, and she didn't even fake it anymore. She walked in late almost every single day, never brought in her laptop, and gave students independent reading like 5 days a week. But this time, she just kind of took it a little too far. She walked in 10 minutes late, holding Starbucks, sat down at her desk and said, "I'm not really in the mood today, class, so just pretend I gave you something to do." Then she pulled out her phone and didn't even put headphones on. She just started scrolling on TikTok full volume while sipping her coffee. The whole class looked around like, wait, what are we supposed to do? But naturally, a few people pulled out their phones as well. You know, I guess it's totally fine to be on our phone today, they thought. Absolutely not. No phones allowed. I don't want to hear a sound from you guys. Silent. Do something, but be silent. They're like, you're literally watching TikToks in front of us. What the heck's your problem? That's when one kid pulled his phone back out. Not to scroll, but to record a video.
If I post myself and get, I don't care how cheap something is.
Just a quick video, her at her desk watching TikTok full volume, sipping her coffee, and the rest of the class sitting in silence. He posted it that night. Next day, 40,000 views. Somebody sent that video to the principal. The next day, the principal pulled him aside and asked him to take the video down. But instead of getting mad, he said this, "Thank you for sharing that. We're gonna use it." They're gonna use it, he says. By sixth period, the superintendent showed up at the school. He walked straight into that classroom. The principal was behind him. They asked that teacher to step out in the hallway. She never came back in. The next day, they had a sub. Good. That teacher should definitely not be teaching.
At this school, band kids were always clowned. Hey, nice clarinet, loser. What the heck?
But especially this one kid named Eli. Eli played the French horn, and he took it everywhere he went. On the bus, assemblies, to class. And there was this one dude named Zach, and Zach would always give Eli crap for playing the French horn. Nice instrument, Eli. I bet it sounds like a dying whale. But Eli didn't let it get to him. Then came the spring concert. Big crowd, parents, staff, the gym was decorated, and Zach was there because his mom forced him to go because she was on the school board or something. Well, halfway through, the conductor goes, "And now, a featured solo by our French horn player, Eli." And Zach's like, "What? Let's see this." Eli stands, French horn in hand, and he cooks. It's not just good, it's cinematic. The entire crowd stopped breathing during the solo because it was that beautiful. Finishes, there was a few seconds of silence, and then the crowd erupts. After the show, Zach walks over to Eli, and all he says is this: "Hey man, yeah, you snapped. My bad for everything. Sorry." Eli doesn't say a word. He picks up his French horn, and he walks away. It's a slow Tuesday morning. This guy's working at the front of a bank. He's the security guard, and it's a fairly standard shift. Doop-ba-doop-ba-doo, I'm a security guard at the bank. Now, at a bank, most people come in, they do their thing, and then they leave. Well, one day, this guy came in, he was looking pretty sketchy. Walking into the bank. Oh, crap. He sees the security guard, and then he walks back outside. And the security guard is like, yo, this is kind of weird, so he kind of walks by the door. Well, this sus guy is pacing the sidewalk, and he's on the phone. He's obviously stressed, and the security guard overhears just one sentence. "Nuh-uh, man, I am not doing this crap. You said nothing about a security guard." I will not take him out. Then, for a second, they make eye contact, and they stare at each other for a short while. And he's gone. The bank reports the situation immediately, but nothing ever actually happened, so they couldn't really do anything about it. But the security guard knew one thing. That guy was definitely gonna rob the bank that day if he wasn't there. And that's crazy. This kid in middle school got bullied every single day. One day in math class, it just got too much. So he asked to go to the bathroom. Can I go to the bathroom? And when he got there, he called his dad. Dad, please, I can't do this anymore. Can you please come pick me up? And his dad said, you'll be okay, son. Just try to ignore it, all right? I love you, bye. He goes back to class and sits down, but 20 minutes later, the office calls him down. He heads to the office and his dad is waiting there. Hey buddy, we totally forgot about that doctor's appointment you have today, remember? Oh yeah. They get in the car, they drive off, he takes his son to Chili's, they have a great time, they eat a bunch of snacks, then they go to a freaking movie, they go home, and they spend the rest of their night just hanging out. This happened years ago, and since then this kid said his dad had sadly passed away. But he says that was one of the best days of his life. What a good dad. Rest in peace. He got detention on his birthday. No! So apparently he was talking back to a teacher and the teacher gave him after school detention today. But it's my birthday. I don't care. So it was after school, he was in detention sitting there. Sad. He was supposed to be hanging out with his friends. This sucks so bad. But then the detention room door busted open and his 5 best friends walked in. Hey yo, happy birthday, bro. What's up, brother? Happy birthday, man. Yo, what? The detention teacher was like, hey, you guys can't be in here. It's his birthday, man. Come on. One friend brought in cupcakes, soda, balloons, and they passed cupcakes and soda out to everybody in the classroom, even the teacher. Oh, thank you. Hey, we get a cupcake too. Of course, man, enjoy. This party's for everybody. And then they sang to their friend. Happy birthday to you. I blow out your candle, bro. And for the rest of the detention period, they were listening to music, eating cupcakes, and the teacher that tried to shut it down at first ordered a frickin' pizza. And by the end, nobody wanted to leave. You know what? There's still some pizza left and some soda. 20 more minutes, huh? Hey, nice. Honestly, best birthday ever. That's frickin' awesome.